Alrighty. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. I want to say welcome again to the Logan's Hour, and we're just going to play our intro one more. When we come back, okay, okay. The Logan's Hour is back. We want to say to all of our people out there, we want to say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's depending on which part of the world you are. But I'm in Indianapolis currently, and we feel so good in Indianapolis. It's a very good weather out there. And we are starting a little late because we were in the background going through uh, a little conversation with our guest today. We should have been in conversation with the national president of UNIBOA, which stands for the United Basketball Association in the Americas. But unfortunately, the president he's having a little emergency because the national convention for the UNIBOA starts on the 2nd and on the 5th of September. So he's a little tired up and he have to travel from Kentucky to Maryland where the convention will be taking place. So we want to say tonight, sadly, we will not be joined with the national president of UNIBOA, but we will also extend invitation to the Indiana chapter that has the vice president, the steering committee, who is the vice president, the steering committee chairperson, who is the vice president of the Indiana branch, Honorable J. Joshua K. Powell Sr. And we will extend the invitation to him, and he will appears on the Logan Hour to also talk about plans to Maryland, the upcoming trip, and probably if we can have our friend and brother, uh, Mr. Germache as well, who is on that committee, and Mr. Richie Bouya, who is also a member of that committee, and Mr. MacArthur D, who is also a member of that committee. We look forward to seeing those guys here tonight. I'm sure they're going to join us, and let's talk about the trip to Maryland. And notwithstanding, we also want to use this time to congratulate our friend and brother, he and his fiancée, or whatever way they call it, Mr. Roden Akwe, over the weekend. Roden Akwe and his wife, they had a baby shower, welcoming their baby boy, and it was well attended by the community. And I want to say to all of those who attend that program, community members and well wishers, and people who came from other state, I want to say kudos. Our house are out to you. We are so grateful that people are coming from everywhere now to celebrate, and our community is getting more together. We are not dwelling anymore on who lives outside, who live west side. At least we have found a sense of unity that is important that we show up to each and every one activities in the town, regardless if you have the time to be there. So I want to say to all of those who want to celebrate with our brother Roland Akwe, thank you so much. And to you and Mevina Roland, we want to say congratulations. We know it's just a matter of time. Mevina will be put into bed, like the old people can say. So just to see a little picture from Roland Baby Shower. But if you live in a Liberian community or you live outside a Liberian community, uh, I'll just show a little short video from the baby shower. And if you want to copy some of the dance you will see me doing, excuse me, some of the dance you will see me doing, or some of the dance that you see others are doing, please give me credit, because those are my copy. And I don't take my dance lightly. I take my dance very, 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 very seriously. So let's just play a few of those short excerpts of what happened at Roland baby shower. All right. Those are just short clip from Roland baby shower. Trust me, it was beautiful. We went and celebrated with our dear brother and friend, Mr. Roland Akwe, and his beautiful fiancée, Mavina Harris, and RYMA specifically, that stands for the Indiana Young Men Association. They were represented by their president, Honorable Sir Avin Bangila, and they make some presentation at that baby shower. And we want to say in this manner, as former president of the Indiana Young Men Association, I want to say a very big thank you to all of those sympathizers and regular affiliates of the Indiana Young Men Association. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for celebrating. By the way, Roland Akwe, he's one of us. He's one of the members of the Indiana Young Men Association. So let's hear from the president, Mr. Avin Sabangila, who took on the microphone and make the presentation on behalf of the Indiana Young Men Association.
Which we are here tonight. You know, the have been so great to our association. She brought proud to us. She brought proud to one of our great members, Roland, to be specific. Mavina wants to thank you for bringing responsibility. Thank you for making Roland to be the man that he is. You know, sometimes I laugh at Roland when, before then, when Roland go out, he want to stay there and be the last man to leave. But this time, it's so surprising to me. When Roland and all us, and how we get together, the next thing you know, Roland said, "Okay, I owe you."
All right, so that's the president. I think I have the
which we are here tonight. You know, Mavina have been so great to our association. She brought proud to us. And now you are responsible. Responsibly. And Mavina, you're a great person. You're a good woman. So, Melina, on behalf of our MA and everybody here tonight present, want to say thank you for making our brother responsibly responsible. And this is just the beginning. And next year, maybe at this.
All right, so that was the vice president. Let me say the president of the Indiana Young Men Association. And, you know, the Queen's language, we all still learning how to use the Queen's language. By the way, I will first introduce the Bassa before being introduced to English. So it's clearly shown that we do not have absolute controls over the Queen language. So the president used a very good word. He said responsibly responsible. And I know some people who heard that and they were like, is that a good word? It sounds like a bad word in your ear, but it is a good word. So I want to use this time also to say happy. I don't know if people say happy belated anniversary anyway, but I want to say happy anniversary to my dear brother and friend, Mr. Richie Boya, and his wife. On Saturday, they celebrated their anniversary. And on Sunday was the birthday of my dear friend and brother again, Mr. Richie Boya. I want to say happy belated birthday to you, my dear brother. Enjoy your new age. And don't forget, all of those living in Indiana, don't forget, we have this program coming up. It's the celebration of the Flag Day program. It's going to be on Sunday. Sunday, please save on your calendar. Sunday. The Librarian Association of Indiana will be celebrating the Flag Day program on Sunday, September 4th. So this coming Sunday, get ready. It's going to be at Middlewood Park. So you're going to be, the address is 5700 Middlewood Drive, Speedway, Indiana, 46224. It starts at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. So if you want to come and celebrate with the librarian community, you can come. You can talk to Sis Dalisha Sayan. She's on this committee. Nobody who is under 18 will be allowed to sell at this all-important Flag Day program. So we are calling all of you guys in the community, outside the community, come and celebrate with the librarian community. It is the Flag Day program for the librarian community. And I want to say to our people, we know you guys. You guys are so generous. You guys are selfless. You guys have always come to celebrate and share with the librarian community. So come out and support your community. Come up. We have people on the committee who will serve you very well. Sister Alicia Sayan, Ma Annie Gibson, and your own First Lady. They're going to be at the all-important program. So please come on. My dear brother, Kelvin DJ Matali. It's been a long while, my brother. I hope we compared notes soon. Thank you for joining the Logan's Hour. Kelvin DJ Matali. Happy to see you, my brother. All right, so the Independent Day celebration, let me say the Flag Day celebration coming up. Please, guys, let's celebrate. Let's go to the park and let's celebrate. All right, so those of you who don't know this or not on a group chat, the president of the Librarian Association of Indiana, Mr. Rufus Stati. Mr. Rufus Stati will be appearing on the Logan's Hour on Thursday. Oh, sorry, that's my own woman, Sis Isabella Youngway. She's the financial secretary of the Librarian Association of Indiana. So the president of the Librarian Association, Mr. Rufus Stati, will be appearing on the Logan's Hour on Thursday, September 1, 2022 at 6 o'clock sharp p.m. And this time around, we will be on time. Trust me. I know members of the community, they are willing to ask tons of questions. They want to ask the president about issues confronting the community. Of late, there have been claims and counterclaims concerning the EC and other issues relating to the community. I know members of the community want to ask their president, Mr. President, what this is going on? Mr. President, how do we address this thing? Mr. President, what are some of your achievements during your administration, the 3 years or 2 years in power? It will be your perfect opportunity for you to ask your president those questions. And I can rest assure you, on this show, one of the hosts on this day is going to be the tough talking Mr. Joseph Sele Jr. He's one of the hosts, and he's the chairman of the Open Table. And Open Table is one of the talk show in the Liberian community in Indianapolis. And Open Table broadcast every Saturday at 2:00 p.m. So most time on Saturday, when you see my time shifting, because I normally used to broadcast on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 3:00, but I shifted from Saturday broadcasting from 3:00 because I know the Open Table going to be broadcasting. So I decided to postpone my Saturday show to a later date. And in most cases, you see sometime on Saturday, I do not broadcast because if Open Table stay a little longer, I have to respect that we have 2 shows in this time that disseminate the information to the community. So Saturday, most often, I come on my usual time, maybe by 6:00 or by 5:00, if I have the time. But I give Saturday by 2:00 to Open Table for the community to hear the other views of the other shows that exist in the Liberian community. So I want to say kudos to Open Table. On this gone Saturday, Open Table hosted one of the funniest, the brightest, the smartest female of our community. And her name is Mrs. Samar Hamu Logan. And when the invitation was extended to her, she showed that to me. She said, hey, I got an invitation to appear on the Open Tour. What should I do? I said, go there. We are fighting to bring the community together. We are into this because we want unity in the community. We are not no enemies. So whatever shows or whatever place that has to do with community unity, we will go there. We will go there. And Joseph Sele Jr. Just a second. Let me play this our MA president. I have a very important urgent call to answer. But before I play that, let's go to my sister Marian Stowe and let's purchase. Let me play this for my listen to my brother what he has to say. So Mr. Colley, I'm gonna call you right away. So my sister Marian going to let's go to Marian Stowe and purchase. Me answer this call as well.
Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis. Are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. At MD's, our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Mariette that the girl is sexy.
All right. If anyone asks you, say V Gertie Cynthia. All right. So that was a very important call. I'm sorry for that. So Marianne have a beauty store that we all have to go and patronize. Then let's celebrate our sister, Marianne. So, like I was saying, the July 20, let me say the August 24th coming up. Let's go and celebrate. And on Thursday, the community, I know you guys are waiting to hear from your president, Mr. Rufus Tati. He's going to be our guest on Thursday. And the other day when we had him, we had Mr. Joseph Jeremiah Sele, who was here quizzing the president. And this time around, fortunately for us, we have Mr. Joseph Sele Jr., tough talking, somebody who is a pen pusher, who knows the issue. He's going to be here to quiz the president. And who knows? Sometimes people feel Joseph Sele, he's controversial. He going to deal with you today, and the next moment you and him knocking glass. That's the civility that comes with democracy. So he's a young guy, who in a very high esteem. And on Saturday at Mr. Richard Boyer house, he and I had a very lengthy discussions, and I respect his positions. So Mr. Joseph Sele will be here on Thursday. He will sit for his office, and he will log on to the Logan's hour, and he will be one of the hosts on Thursday that are going to quiz the president. So another person who wanting to join the conversation will be Mr. Jeremiah Cheer. Jeremiah Cheer will also love to join the conversation. So we will be open to having Mr. Jeremiah Cheer to join the conversation as well. Yep. So that will be so good for our community. And on the 6th, I believe. Yes. On Thursday, September 6th, 2022, at 6 o'clock p.m. Who's going to be in studio? We're going to have Mr. Anthony Givler. He's going to be the guest. And he one of the resident of the Liberian community. And one of the hosts or one of the panelists on that day going to be Mr. Jeremiah Chie. And we will be open up too. If somebody in the community want to come and be your panelist as well, you can just let us know. We will send you the link. You can also be your panelist. You can take part in the show. You can participate, and let's have this thing going on. And Mr. Anthony Givler specifically will come to historicize her purpose being here to tell us about the Liberian community. Because the other day when I spoke to Mr. Givler on Saturday, Mr. Givler said something specifically to me. He said to me that he's looking to see the person who can, in this town, that will dichotomize, that will draw the line between the association and the community. So in short, Mr. Givler is saying that people consider the community to be the association. And he said there's a very big dichotomy between the association and the community. So luckily for me, I will have one of my astute brother who is very intellectual and who knows the issue and who will ask most of those relevant questions. And he is no one else but Mr. Jeremiah Chie. Mr. Jeremiah Chie will be in studio here. and he would talk about that. So I want to say to all of you who following us, uh, to my two brothers, Jeremiah Chie and Mr. Joseph Sele Jr., I want to say congratulations to you both for accepting to come on the Logan's Hour, and let's uh, talk to some of our community members, and let's encourage more people in the community, young people. If you're a younger person in the community and want to come up here and you have something to discuss, if you have a specific topic you want to talk about, if you have a specific talent, you have a business you want to emphasize, come on, let's talk about it. Let's have the discussions. Because the reason I'm saying this is that the reason why we came up with this platform is to elevate the community, is to bring the community matters outside. That's the reason. This is not personal. This is not about me. This is about us talking about the issues that confront the Liberian community of Indiana, and also by extension, our dear country, Liberia. This is the sole purpose of this show. This is the sole purpose of having all the regular talk shows. The reason why sometimes we stress on specific matters that is of national concerns, because we feel other shows talk about it, and we have to talk about it in our community as well. So to all of those who always join us, we want to say thank you. Thank you for making this place your home. And tonight, I will talk about one topic. I know for some reason, the topic I'm about to discuss, it might be a little offensive to some people. But it is the reality. I never came up with the law. That came up by the former president of Liberia, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, under her administration. So it has been flagged into the newspaper, front page specifically. So we would just throw some light on that. And we just hear from the mother of Zoe. Okay, if you see on the scrolling text here, the story is already there. So we will read that story, and we'll throw some light on that story as well. So get ready. The July 26th celebrations coming up. Let's go and celebrate with our Liberian community. So you're going to be on September 4th. You're going to be on September 4th. So let's celebrate with the Liberian Association of Indiana. And notwithstanding, it is with sadness that we regret to announce the death of one of our historian, one of Liberia best, a man who we all read about, went to school, learned his book, even in high school, a renowned historian, Dr. Joseph C. Guanu. Dr. Joseph C. Guanu, if some of you can remember, he wrote Liberia history up to 1847. That's the title of the book. And Dr. Joseph C. Guanu died at the age of 81 years old. It is with sadness that the Joseph C. Guanu is no more. It's no more. And we want to say to the family of Dr. Joseph C. Guanu that we in Indiana, we say sorry. Take heart. It is the Lord give it, and the Lord take it. So take heart to the family. All right. So before we go any further, let's recognize some of our people. we want to say here, my Rebecca McGill, thank you for joining the Logan's Hour. I want to say to my brother Didier, thank you for also being on the Logan's Hour at this time. And my one Sosa and my brother Prince Jacob, thank you for joining the Logan's Hour. And my Unsa Oma, my Annie Gibson, thank you for joining the Logan's Hour at this time. And my friend and brother Ketri Put, Milk. That's the man. And when you that need milk, some of you that don't know, Ketri Put and I went to Cathedral. We went to Cathedral. We were in the scene. He was in 10-1, I was in 10-2. And the boy used to play the basketball. When we go to sports commission, when the ball lift a hand in the egg, and yeah, everybody, milk. When the ball lift a hand in the egg, it's a basket. That one's a clear cut. And he had a game. And up to now, he's still doing a little thing all the way to man aging. When you see the man practicing, so now when you see the man live, the man can still milk it. That's the man we call it. Milk. Welcome, my dear brother, Ketri Put. And my friend, brother, Kevin DJ Matali. Kevin DJ Matali, he's the owner and CEO of Cable News in Liberia. And he's my good friend. We've been friends forever, you know. Kevin, thank you. And to all of you following us on Facebook and other places, YouTube, like the YouTube people, we cannot see you as well. My Isabella. So my Oma in Washington now, Isabella. So if you don't know Isabella, she's the financial secretary of the Liberia Association of Indiana. This is her. Bam. I grab her. So that's the old man there. That's my own set of people in there. All right. So I'm about to talk about something that is very important. But it will also sound offensive to some people, depending on which party you are. You know, my good friend, brother Jeremiah Chie, thank you for joining the Logan's Hour tonight. And don't forget, I'm expecting you on Thursday. But if you love to join the show right now, if you have the time, go in our chat room. The link is there. Just click on the link. Let's talk about the issues. Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you so much. All right, so DDA, let me know if you want to join the hour too as well. So I'm about to talk about something. I know it might sound a little offensive, but there's no other way I can place this. It's about FGM. Some of you who don't know what FGM means, I know some of you know what FGM means. It has to do with female genital mutilation. And from the day of Liberia existing, before 1847, before the indigenous went to, before the American Liberians went to Liberia, we had this practice. And this practice, back in those days, before 1847, it was considered as our bush school. And this practice, normally, it was to help young girls and young guys who are going into adulthood, to help them specifically when it comes to the women, teach you how to cook, teach you how to take care of your man, teach you how to clean your environment, and it seemed to male as well. But you know, time has evolved. Time has changed. We are living in the 21st century. And the Salif government decided to suspend the practice of female genital mutilation. That's a big word. I cannot be so explicit in explaining it, in breaking it down in simple terms, because we have other people who watch the show, babies, and want the show to be friendly to everybody. But for the others who watching this show at this time, you know what female genital mutilation is. So if I should just break it down in a little man term, it means the cutting of the female sensitive part. And the Salif administration suspended their activities because it was a concern from the international committee. It was a human rights concern, and a lot of people felt it was a human rights abuse to female, because most of them who went through those things, they were never in favor of that. They were forced against their will. And more to that is some of them, at a certain point in the rural places, they have a time that they will do their parade. A new graduate will be coming out. The devil will be coming out. And when the devil is coming out, those of you who are not part of this whole organization or practice, you have to be indoor. And when you are caught outdoor, immediately, not by your will, you're going to be forced into the bush to be initiated. And when you get initiated, whatever happened during the initiation process, it becomes part of you. So the Malan Serif government listened to the cries of the International Committee and listened to the examples of other women. They decided to suspend their entire activities. So of late, in this 2022, the practice have not ceased. The practice is getting on the increase again. Welcome, my dear brother, Honorable Race W. Basigia. He's the president of the Indiana, the Liberian Association of, let me say Liberian, sorry for that, I said. The United Basa Association, the Indiana chapter. My brother D-Ray, what's up? That's the big man. So, in this 2022, people are still practicing that. And not just practicing it, but the head of the female zones, or the head of the practice when it comes to the female side, she defying the government. She's saying they are not going to stop it. They will not stop that practice because the practice have been in existence long ago, before the Westerner came to Liberia. And if the government dare to stop that practice, they are going to resist. And when the government want to stop that practice, the government should put stop to so many other things that she named. And trust me, I don't want to be the one to name those that she talk about. I'll also just go to the news and read what she said. It is a serious issue that needs to be discussed. It is sensitive, indeed. Yes, I understand. It is sensitive. That a lot of people shy away from these discussions because we know some of our brothers, some of our sisters have been affected by it. But yes, we have moved on. Like, to just deviate a little from the topic, come back to 2022. How many Nigerians have you seen, or Ghanaians have you seen of late that come up with the 3 marks on their face? It's very rare now to see it. Those people you see with the 3 marks on the face, they were those people who have those marks long ago, 10 years, 7 years, or 8 years ago. In 2022, no Ghanaian or Nigerian man want to have their face marked with that 3 signs of traditional mark, because you know opportunity might come your way. You might find yourself in Harvard University. You might find yourself in some of Yale, Princeton, or some other bigger university around the world. You might even find yourself in some developed country that you have to live. Your friend's going to ask you those questions. It is very offensive. That's what I said. I'm sorry if this topic is so offensive to some people. Some of our sisters, some of our brothers, when they appear in public places, they are asked by their friends. This is not my making. It is in the news. So I read the message from the butch, according to the way the traditional people can call it. Because the chief herself, she said, we are not. They call her Manzo. So Mawoto Manzo, Chief Zo Mawoto Musa. She said, we are not going to stop this. If the government forces us to stop it, we will resist. So we will not go through the whole entire thing. We'll just read just a little portion of it before people think what I'm saying, it is my own making. I just want to read just a portion of it. Then we'll go to something different. So the headline say, we will continue the Sunday bush practice of our ancestors. So Zoe Magibi vow. So let's read the story here. They say hundreds of Liberian school-age girls and young women stands the risk of being initiated into the Sunday society, also known as the Bush School, because traditional leaders of Magibi County pledge to continue their ancestors' traditional heritage. This is what I just said. This is what I just said. They pledge to continue their traditional heritage. They ain't going to stop it. So the paper is saying that hundreds of Liberian girls, school-going girls. The reason why we were practicing these things, but then we never have too many schools around to educate our people. But we are living in a digital age where we have everything at our disposal. My old man, I know it is our traditional practice, but I give our children quality education that they can compete with the larger society. Let's go back to what this so is saying. So, Chief Zo Mawoto Musa, Chief Samuel Colley, and other traditional leaders in Wiala, Magibi County vowed to continue Sunday activities amid the 3-year suspension on the practice. There you go. Then here the part that blew my mind. And some people want to see it different, but I would take it from another angle. They have a little point, but she's stressing on something. This is her point. If the government wanted to stop that, she said, we will continue the Sunday bush practice of our ancestors in Liberia. We inherited this practice, and in no way we are willing to end it. And if the government and other wants to force us, we will traditionally resist. And if they want us to leave our ancestors' practice, let them be equally prepared to let go of other practices such as same-sex, the UBF, the Freemason, the ritualistic killing, etc. and etc. There you have it. The traditional people saying, this thing, it has been our practice from our ancestors. They pass it down to us. We're not going to stop it. If the government wants us to stop this, we will resist traditionally. And if the government wants us to stop this thing, the government should stop their Western practices too. And what are the government Western practices that they are talking about? You say, first of all, the government should stop the issue of same sex, which means man sleeping together, woman and woman sleeping together. They must put stop to that. The UBF is another society in Liberia. That whole thing about having UBF, they must put stop to that. And they even went as far as talking to one of the area that people don't really talk about. They said the Freemason, the one they can call the Masonic craft. They said they should put stop to the Freemason. So now, what do you think happening in this whole thing? I seen different things happening. They have squeezed the government neck and put the government on a little pressure. Because two things going to happen. Because the government do not have total jurisdictions over the other issues that they name in their press statement. The government will want to have a win-win situation. Knowing the fact that we are about to go to election in 2023, the government might likely say, if we come down hard on these people, we will lose some votes, and let's just allow them to continue their practice, because we cannot crack down on the Masonic, on the Freemason. We cannot do that to the UBF. We cannot stop the issue of same-sex marriages or same-sex in the country. So we just allow them to go on with the practice, because it's like everybody 50-50. And where are we heading? What happened to our school-going girls? Are they going to be removed from school and go into the butches? To the butch school? What happens if they graduate from the butch school and come outside into a larger society and see their friends who is going to get more education? And how would they compete? Do they just become subservient? Do they just become girls and housemates that go to people's house and wash clothes and draw water? The world have changed. And we have to come down on this. I'm sorry. I said it. This topic is offensive. I know our traditional practices. I know some of us went through that. Yeah, but times have changed. We have to change, though. So, Manzo saying here, you have to post up to your own if you want to post up to our own. Your own are your king way in my labyrinth param for my own money that don't understand. They say your king way, your new teenage. You say, oh man, get married and married. That one bad like your own teenage. But we now want it. So speaking in Wiara Magibi County during a recent town hall meeting organized by he for she Crusader Liberia, the West Point Woman for Health and Development Organization and Community Healthcare Initiative. There's those, not her one. There's those, along with other 20 traditional leaders, said even though they are knowledgeable of the 3-year suspension on FGM, which is female genital mutilation activities in Liberia, but they will continue until same sex in UBF is abolished as well. There you go. There you go. I see people about to fight. I see people about to fight for their traditional practice. So they are saying the issue about same-sex marriage or same-sex in Liberia and the UBF and the Masonic craft, if the government cannot put stop to that, the government cannot put stop to whatever thing they have going on, which is the FGM. This will become a problem. I can rest assure you. This identical thing here is going to become a serious problem in Liberia coming few years from now. Because the government ain't going to be to the point where They cannot address the issue adequately. They cannot deny them of their practices, while the government is not willing to dissolve other practices. So I see the government going through a whole lot of pressure. But stick and still, we will be right back. Thank you for being on the Logan Hour. All right, we are back on the Logan's Hour. So I know this topic, how sensitive it is. I know how some of those traditional people who really want these kind of practices, I know how they are angry with me. I know some people who have already gone through these practices. Some of them regret the incident. Some of them regret the time, the second, the minute it happened to them. But it's okay. It's okay. We can change now. We can face reality. We can face the 21st century. We can send our children to more advanced school. We need more technicians, more engineers, more agriculturists. Why are we not thinking that direction? For a country to be developed, it's not those traditional practices. It is getting more engineers, more administrators, more doctors, more agriculturists. It's not to put the children in those some boots and spend a long period of time. When they come out, it's so grown and they cannot even sit in first grade because they are older. So, Manzo, I know your points are valid in all sense. We can consider your points. But the organizations that you are speaking to do not keep people in butches like the Masonic. Do not keep people in butches. They only go for regular meeting and leave. And the guys in those organizations going to school. If you tell, say, the bush will be just 3 days, 4 days, fine. Hey, my dear brother, Marco Guillaume, thank you so much for joining Logan's Hour. So, I know this topic is very sensitive. That's why when I decided to even talk about it, my point was, hey, how many people will accept the topic? And do you want to talk about this? But it's okay. It's okay. Let's leave that and go to a different topic. If that's offensive to some people, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that sounds so offensive. But we are in 2022. We have to face the reality. Let's move on. We move now. Let's move. All right. So another interesting topic currently that that people never pay attention to, and for some reason in Liberia, the Liberian citizens themselves do not pay attention to issue of substance. We just pay attention most time to the political things. We pay attention to stand-up bearer talking to the president talking to political leader, and all the kind of thing that all we are involved with politics. To the point that the simple crops of the matters that matter most to our sisters, we don't even discuss it. We're done. Today, something happened in Liberia. And I heard nobody talking about that. Not the press. And it beats my imagination to see that our sisters in Oman, in Qatar. They are crying every day that they want to leave that place. They have been used as sex slaves. They have been used as domestic workers. They have been used for other purposes. And the government of Liberia, under his leadership, President George Manawia, called on the government of Oman or Qatar to halt granting visas to Liberians. This is a topic that needed to be discussed by all of the media institutions. If the government of Liberia can come down on this issue, I expected us to talk about it. I expected media institutions to talk about this. But unfortunately, no institution talk about this. Our sisters in Oman, thanks to Martina Kuyate. Martina Kuyate, she's a member of the COP. And she has flagged these issues on so many occasions. And she even went as far as getting our sisters to get on talk shows, and they raise some money to help to get some of them visa to leave from Oman. Currently, some of our sisters have been held hostage, and the government of Qatar, they are demanding ransom. Some of them are demanding. Okay, Jared, welcome, man. Welcome. Can you hear me, Jared?
Good evening, Mr. Logan. Yeah, I can. Good evening, Mr. Logan.
Good evening, my dear brother.
How are you?
Can't complain. We are here. All right. So Jerry is on the steering committee, and I know Jerry is on his way to Maryland. I was just about to discuss the issue that is happening in Oman with our Liberian sisters, how they've been used as sex slaves, and some of them have been used as domestic workers in home, and they have been calling on our Liberian government to get them from Oman whatever way possible. Of late, some of our Liberian brothers were on the show, and they talk about how the government of Dubai told them that they should go to get deported, voluntary removal, and they grouped themselves and they went to the airport, hoping that the government was going to voluntarily take them out of the country. Surprisingly, they saw the military truck coming, and they are all in jail currently. And the government of Liberia today asked the government of Oman to put halt to the visa processing of Liberian. So all Liberian going to Oman say they shouldn't grant no visa. And the government working some modalities behind the covers to see how well we can get some of our sisters, if not all of them, because, you know, obviously not everybody want to come back. Some people can make their hustle regardless, even if they get to a zone that is so harsh. Not everybody, it will harsh realities. And that fails. Now I have the president, His Excellency, Honorable Rich W. Basigia, tough talking, one-time Unity Party. My dear brother, Jeremiah Chiu, welcome again to the Logan's Hour, and thanks to the president, Mr. President, welcome to the Logan's Hour as well. So, Mr. Chiu, I would just start with where we were on, not talking about the issue of Oman. Then we can go straight to our Maryland Grand Bassa issue. Oh, Jerry. Oh, the internet won't get Jerry hot on tonight, bro.
I ain't know what kind of internet, Jerry. What kind of internet I've used?
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the internet and the time you want to use it, I can let you down. Especially if you have your whole setup is upstairs and you downstairs, or you upstairs and your setup is downstairs. It's a little difficult. So, it is what it is. So, Mr. President, welcome, man. Welcome.
Thank you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I know you in your car, probably you going somewhere, and I know your busy engagement at this time. It's already after 8:36, and I know you want to show a little light on the trip to Maryland. And today I was in conversation with Mata Tool, and also I was joined by the president of Unibois, the national president. Me and my brother Jeremiah back. I was joined by the national president, and the national president expressed to me that he has some other engagements, and his schedule was so tight, and he was unable to come on today that we have planned. And he also said to me that Jeremiah, the president, talking to you, man. Say, what happened with you? And then
Philip, as it relates to your question earlier on the woman's situation, I think the government, one way or the other, came in to save face, to at least tell the other government, do not give Liberians visa to come to your country. But I think in a nutshell, they could have done more to at least the same way they do international travels. As a country, we can also send for our citizens, those willing to come. They can do a charter flight like they did for the other people from Cyprus. They could do that because these people are living in modern slavery in Oman because of their financial situations. So I think it's one step that's a deterrent from other people who are wanting to join those people in that side of the world. They are telling them, don't go. But now those that are stranded are the ones too we are thinking about. So I think it's a step in the right direction, but the government could have done more in order to bring our brothers and sisters back, because where they are now, there isn't any means of getting out, because it's like you locked up and nobody's talking for you. You are there. You're probably going to be serving time, no legal aid, and so forth.
Okay, so before we come in with, okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So before we come into the president, I want to ask you this specific question: do you think the government should have been specific to say that do not grant visa to this group of people who going with the intention of working in Oman, or who going with some charitable group that promised them job, and for the government to say do not grant visas to Liberians? So if possible, you could be a Liberian person who have a connection in Oman and going to do a Pacific business, and the government is including you into this thing that you are not going to be granted visa. Do you think they're going to put hot to your workings instead of the government just generalizing it? Instead of the government should have just specifically target a group of people who do the thing that just go to Oman for the kind of purposes?
I think the generalization is a disservice to the Liberian citizens at large, because there are other people who conduct businesses in Oman. Like some people go in the Middle East to have investors come back to our country to conduct businesses. So if these are the people that will also be targeted, it will be a problem. Because if I'm a Liberian now, it's a blanket or almost like your country telling another country to put sanction on you, because it's like you can no longer, a Liberian can no longer vis-a-vis go to Oman, no matter your capacity, unless it's being negotiated on the sidelines at a high level. Tourism visa, I don't think it's possible anymore. Maybe diplomatic visa or those good notes, those verbal notes are the ones now that the people will honor. But a regular tourist visa, I don't think it will be given to Liberians. But the mistake the foreign ministry made was when you come to these conclusions, you have to make people understand through the diplomatic cables. You have to make people understand that Liberians are all over the world, and they might be traveling. Some don't reside in Liberia. Some might want to leave for another country to that other country, and they are still Liberians. So will you deny those people? They are not going there for those kind of purposes to be some housemaid or something that or other things that people are supposedly doing down there. So I
Yes.
think they should have been more open their discourse with the people so that other Liberians won't be hindered in the process.
You are right. Okay, so let's go to the president. Mr. President, do you want to chip in on that before we talk about Maryland?
Yeah, I mean the Oman issue.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't listened to the government, and I haven't read their position statement on that. But
Okay.
best
Mm-hmm.
international practice,
Mm-hmm.
uh, no government around the world will just issue such a statement, especially when it has to do with diplomatic relationship. You will want to send in the foreign minister, the doyen of the
Mm-hmm.
cabinet will want to do an inquiry through the Oman embassy. That's how governance run. And first of all, establish as to whether these accusations around time, these information circulating are affecting our citizens, whether they are really true, and verify them and give the government an informed appraiser that will allow government to work along with you know, their partners that they have bilateral relationship with or multilateral relationship with in convincing them to make such statement. You don't just abruptly come out and issue a statement stopping people. That's disenfranchising people's right. You cannot cut off people link of travel. That's one alienated rights that you cannot stop. You can Liberians should be able to travel in and out. That's constitutional violation. Let's establish that first. When
Mm-hmm.
you read through the Constitution, I can't get right to that article, but it should be somewhere with 21, Article 20 and Article 21 in the Liberian Constitution. People should be able to travel in and out. When
Okay.
you try to put a stoppage on people's right and infringe on
Mm-hmm.
their rights because
Mm-hmm.
of one case in scenario, that's infringing on people's rights. Best in international practice, no one does that. So I think first of all, the government needs to revisit the statement. I haven't read it, but I know it's confirming it from you. I know it is right,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do so. Is the first thing the statement is wrong. You cannot infringe on people's right.
Yeah, I think they gave some specifics in there. They said those seeking domestic jobs. The president was just fucking Jeremiah. I bet you that episode.
No, that your own, me my own is super. I can't
Oh,
see you,
okay.
so I say, but wait, what? Are they sure
Oh,
the
you
man, the
guys.
host, are they see that yesterday? But how be it? I
Uh-huh.
think the government will revisit that because they know they're in the wrong to do so. With the issue that happened with our people in Oman, has the government
Mm-hmm.
intervened? I have not seen any intervention for the government. Has the
Yes, the
government
person. Okay, this
made
is
any
okay. Anyway, go ahead. The
Mhm,
person
mhm.
who tried to intervene because the COP, this girl Martina Kuyate, she had been involved with these ladies from Oman. She tried to raise some funds, but the government directed her to Minister Nathaniel McGill at the time. So she needed to have a meeting with Minister McGill. Boom, Minister McGill got in trouble. He's out. So it's
So you
illegal.
see, and so you see, big fail. You see where I got a problem with the government. I don't know how the governance structure is being constituted currently for Liberia. What I do know best, the Minister of State has no fish to fry in such oil. It's the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
The President office can be briefed. The President can succumb somebody to the Minister of Foreign Affairs to get daily updates, weekly updates, or monthly updates. That's what you do. And then you will have the national communication meeting when we had disasters, because these things that come about comes like international disaster. Our people life at risk.
Mm-hmm.
You will call in the Ministry of Information, and then they will have a conversation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and a tag team can be formed, but the
Okay.
person spearheading that would be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. All link, every communication would be the. That's diplomatic relationship. It has nothing to do with the chief of officers of the president. It could be briefed. So when people raised such issue and you're trying to tell them go meet McGill, go. I mean, I just don't get it how the workings of the current government move about, how they're doing it, how they interpret it themselves, and how they think that these kind of things can be mitigated through shortcutage. So the procedure first is not really on the issue of how we should structurally run government. Market should not be responsible. I mean, the bilateral relationship around the world in one of the part of the Constitution, Article 58, is the president prerogative to sign onto these kinds of stuff. So if you try to designate your authority to your chief of office staff, not even through the chief diplomat, which is the foreign minister, that's some of the naivety, some of the low manners of the
No,
presidency. When you start to reduce the presidency so low to your secretary,
Mr. Bazikia, I think from your
yeah.
assertion, that's the prerogative of the president. He's the president. He has the ability to designate even any member of his cabinet to carry on said function of government. All they have to do is to interagency, and they can find a common ground. They could, after Minister McGill, government is still running. So the most prudent thing to do is to see how best where he stopped. Another person can pick up the baton and make sure our citizens get back to their country and make sure we stay foster diplomatic relationship with our partners in Oman, and whatever thing that comes after that should be dealt with government to government at that level. But to I mean, it could be any president. Manos George, we as presidency, I think he dedicated that responsibility to his minister of state.
So
But is
why not the foreign minister, but why
it
McGill?
does by giving that man.
Why not the foreign minister, but you decide to use McGill? What is so different from the
That's
foreign
why
minister? The foreign
that's
minister
why
have a
that's
constitutional responsibility.
I understand that's his constitutional responsibility, but everyone in his cabinet work out the way and the pressure of the president. The president can get up one morning and tell you the
Yeah, but
EPS director
true, you can't.
of race.
True,
Just
everybody
see,
has a responsibility, but you cannot take the director of police to go spearhead something on Ministry of Information. You cannot take the NSA boss to go negotiate on behalf of the government. So it's the same with McGill.
it
The
depends.
reason why you have the foreign
It
minister is
depends.
to arrange and sign diplomatic relationships on behalf. If there's a national security issues, I think that's where you're going from. But McGill is not
Th-
involved in that, so there's no national security
this
issues. So
well, the
what is
issue.
happening
I'm
right
not
now?
looking. I'm
First,
not
it
looking
should
at
be spear.
McGill.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking by that office. But that office, the overall blanket
Coming
trust
in,
on the Republic of
coming in,
Liberia.
both in.
Yeah.
I'm not distorted. I'm just telling you that the
Right.
overall responsibility lies with the president. The president can today, after the other person is out, can say, okay, you is channeling it this way, and then it still be handled. But
All right. Uh,
out there,
I,
and we need to get them back, and we need to get them back fast.
I think he having a little problem with Riggs. Come in. Okay, Jeremiah, come in again. We couldn't hear you.
No,
Yeah.
I think I digested what I have to say. This governance, and the president can choose whoever he wants to finish that function. And I think the key thing is to bring our people back home safe and fast. I think Miguel, but the only thing is that I might agree with Riggs on another way because um president, somebody who he believe in that can carry out his own function according to there are friendships and partnerships. Maybe he chose that person because he feel that he can better relate to him. But on the overall, on the peripheral, if you're talking about governance, I think the core function of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is to deal with our
Mm-hmm.
foreign counterparts. That's the core function. But if you allow your chief of staff to deal with the situation, think he can also dedicate another person to carry out the function as well.
All right. So before we come back to our dear brother Rick, so it's already go ahead.
Phil,
Yeah.
Phil,
Mm-hmm.
there was a topic
On FGM.
that you lay premise to before. Yeah, the FGM, the female
Yeah.
genital mutilation. I
Okay.
think I would like to touch a few points
Yeah.
on it before maybe you can proceed.
I would appreciate that too.
Yeah, why it's true that these things are sensitive. I think that
Mm.
we live in a free world. Everybody should be allowed to do what they think is right and necessary for them. The issue about the FGM might not go down well with everyone, or even in the international arena, is because we ourselves, we Africans, we took the doctrine of the Western people to our place. They took it to us, and we accepted whatever we accepted.
It's true.
And now, our own people have been living tradition in, tradition out. These are not things that you can tentatively question. If you want to be a part of anything, it's your own free will and your conscience, your own free will. Nobody is pushing you. On the only time people will have internal wrangling is when you are forced or you are coerced to be a part of a particular organization or certain traditional practices. Like maybe if you know these people come out 6 o'clock and you're not part of it, and you want and you it seems like challenging the traditional people take it as challenge. And when they
but that should be freedom of
things.
That should be freedom of movement regardless where you live. It's like imagine in Indiana here that you say, oh, so time we come in outside, you might go inside. You feel that they are infringing on you.
Yeah, you're violating people's rights.
Yeah.
You got to allow. I mean, the country is a free country. As a Republican state, a democratic country, people should have their rights to choose what they want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, going to the Sunday, the poro, these are cultural things, and
for me,
I
I
know
agree.
you were expanding on it, but the tradition exists. Even in America here, there are certain areas they still do traditional things. The KKA, I don't know how they call them, the KKY, some group of people. These are American traditional things. They do things here, they different stuff. But I mean, but they don't stop other people from their movements. You can there's a place there called Morrisville. When you're driving or somewhere, they say the KK put over there. People drive by. You go your normal businesses. You won't go invest. You go invest. Companies coming in. People constructing. Nobody grabbing somebody there and say, "Mama, you got to join the KKA." You know, we let the black people then blah blah blah. Nah, you ain't gonna do that. So I mean, that's the problem. If you want to do your cultural thing, it should be by people's own volition. Ask me if you want to be a member of the Poro Society, and the person says yes, they go in and join because their own violation to be convicted of keeping the tenancy.
It's true.
But if you force people into it, but most of the white people, when they start reading books, when they start harassing the people when the people grab everything for them, they say, all right, I'm going to chill you. They put rope boys start passing it around.
And excuse me, because of this FGM, the whole thing that happened in there that is on the social media or the internet today is because of people who disagree with it and they were forced into that thing. That's how they reveal all the information.
Exactly. But because they harass them.
That's it. You see, Jared, for me, this is my position on that, right? If it is happening voluntarily, like the way they have the Freemason, I can choose to join the Freemason. Before they initiate me, they will tell me the initiation process. The day will be on so day. Do you want to stay continue? I can say yes. But those people say, when you hear the Johnson in the evening 5 o'clock, you're not going inside, will grab you, you go in. It made no sense to me.
Going where now?
They won't put you in that book for say every month. Which makes no sense to me.
I think, like you saying, Philip, I think that's the forced conscription. I don't think we subscribe to these things because
they shouldn't do that.
I'm going to be a part of something, I should be willingly going into it with my full mind, knowing that what I'm venturing into, I like it and I want to be a part.
There you go.
But you can't catch me in the street, almost like water. The Malaysian people passing, they say want to catch you outside. Or maybe your people send you to go draw water, they grab you, you tend to soya right away on the spot. You see?
Yeah, so that's not
things,
fair.
It's not fair. But the people brought the culture to us, and if we can take our culture to them, it's none of their business. If they brought their culture to you, whether it's LGBT, whether it's whatever they brought to us. To accept. These are sensitive topics. We can't get out of them because this is the time and this is the place we live in now. They brought it to us.
Okay, so
If
so
we
let
decide,
me go ahead. So this question
if
I
we
want to
decide
ask. Okay, go ahead. I want to ask you, Rex, you're the president, this question specifically because my motto is defined as the Liberian government, and she said, if you can put stop to these other one, we will not put stop to that. We will resist. So let me just read her word, forbidding. She said, we will continue the Sunday bush practice of our ancestors in Liberia. We inherited this practice, and in no way we are willing to end it. And if the government and other wants to force us, we will traditionally resist. And if they want us to leave our ancestor practice, let them be equally prepared to let go other practices such as same-sex, the UBF, the Freemason, the ritualistic killing, etc., etc. That's my wutu. So,
yeah,
what do you think is about to happen now if the government decides to come down on them? Do you think?
I don't think.
Uh-huh.
First of all, I don't think the government will come down on them. That's the first
Okay.
thing, because there are people within the circles of government and outside that are playing part in both things that were listed. I think this is the time that the traditional people, the government always run to the traditional people when there's chaos in the land. Sometimes they will go there and say, oh, Chief Zo, you can mitigate the situation, you can talk to your people, you do the other one for the sake of peace and something. So right now, the Chief Zo, I think our Manwoto is part of that council, but she's not the head. So they could go to Zanzankawa and say, call your people, you'll see how best we can do without confusion in the whole process, because they are saying this is the only thing they believe in that gives them a lifeline. You're taking it from them with force. And I don't think they should be taken from them with force. These are hundreds of years of tradition. These people know that's the only thing they know. So if you're taking it from them with force, then they will oppose to you. Then there's going to be a challenge, and that's why you don't want. And why they are asking you to relinquish, you can't, because of some of these things.
Go ahead.
Because of some of these things, government have something they will also be getting from the Western world. So they wouldn't be able to come out right. Only a few governments that can stand on their own and can provide for their own people can tell you, say, we don't want this and we don't want this. And so. But anywhere you go, all around the world, it's prevalent.
All right. So if you're just joining us, we are on the Logan's Hour. That's the position of Mr. Jeremiah Chie. And what we are discussing here is the issue from the Liberian government. This is now our making. So we said it before. We know this topic is very offensive. We know some of our people who traditionally, they cannot divulge their tradition. So we have been joined by our brother Jevon Smith. Let's hear what our brother have to say about this topic on a discussion. My dear brother.
Yes, sir, Mr. Logan.
How are you? Welcome to the Logan's Hour.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just trying to contribute towards the FM. Is it FML? FMG?
The FGM, female genital
FGM.
mutilation.
Yes, FGM. Okay, we are Africans. We have our tradition. You know, not sit and allow others from have their own tradition to come and impose upon us. They've been doing it for centuries. We have to put stop to that. However, what's the issue of consent for Liberia? Because some of these people that have been put in the Senate bush are going through that, they are children. So you cannot tell me that they are able to consent. The parents make them to join it. You know? So what's the issue of consent? That's one issue that needs to be addressed. This is an issue that we have to discuss as Liberians. It's our cultural thing. We don't have to wait until someone from outside come and take to us. Now, can they also do away with that aspect of it? That's something that our traditional people need to sit down and they have to discuss that. People in it, they have to discuss it. So not forcing people to join. We have to have a set age of consent, and it has to be at a higher age. You cannot tell me a 5-year-old can consent. We know very well that's not
5 year
accurate.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
You know, so that's one issue. That's we just need to look at, but to say that the whole thing has to go away. If someone is willing to go through that at the age of consent that is set, it's up to them. If they want to go through that tradition, it's up to them. That's my point right there. We're listening up here.
All right. Thank you so much, Javon Smith. So, Jeremiah, as you stated, and Race, I think we all on the same side, because if they have a point where they have an age of consent, and the aspect that has, because the human right violation, according to them, is that aspect where they have to mark you or extract part of your body parts. If they can get a potion and the person should consent to going into that, it's a beautiful thing. Trust me, I will promote it all here. But that thing where you just grab my daughter and say, oh, we saw her, we blow the sunny, she move on there. I'm coming for that. I'm coming for you. I know the devil will grab me, because I getting her from in that bush to pour in real school. Because imagine they keep you in that place. Before you come from there, you already grown. Your friend in 8th grade, 9th grade, coming start from 1st grade. You didn't want to go to school. So the next thing that happened to you now, you just find yourself in the community. Oh, you're looking for somebody to wash clothes. You're looking for somebody to be cooking. The higher owner left side, because all they want to teach you there is how to wash clothes, how to cook. When your man say jump, you say how. And it make no sense. Mr. Pastor coming. Mama gonna talk about Maryland tree. Last question on it will go straight down Maryland.
He said when your man say jump, he say ha.
Say,
No, I don't think that. I think that's a norm. So they teach them values and stuff. But I agree, everything should be done with consent. You can violate people alienable rights in the name of tradition. And if the government too did not respect tradition, they wouldn't have had a traditional council. Even Ellen Johnson had a traditional council, former president of Liberia. And Zazakawa been living on that thing for years, building houses and all that stuff. So so they got it, like they have, and even at the Ministry of Internal Affairs that supervises the traditional council, it has an assistant minister for culture to who work along with them. So you got a whole institution responsible for that. I think the mitigation process is just being wrong. The way they're going about it and the way they're dialoguing with the traditional council, something might have prompted the old man you called to speak the way she spoke. I'm sure I think it's unintentional. It's a harmless speech. She just saying, I mean, people's voices got to be here. So she said, let me just stumble it back. Maybe I will drop it to our president will tell them all these things happen. We in political times. So the woman got to meet her under you and somebody elevated her voice, but it ain't going nowhere. Ministry of Internal Affairs will get involved. We had some situation during the Ellen's time, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs went in. I think Harrison Conway was Minister of Internal Affairs, but then when they went in, they had a dialogue with Zamzakawa and rest of other people, and it minimized the agitation with people, children being taken, arrested in Bon County, Nimba, Grand Jide, Grand Bassa, and what have you. The same thing will happen, except the government. The worst thing is you have to have a government building an institution. They got to work according to the structure. It's the structural issue here. Until we can revert to the structure, we'll always keep doing the wrong things. Even I remember during the elections of Brenny issue, you have devil all over the whole thing was about the devil coming outside. Oh, we're sending the government to go arrest the devil. I mean, these people. I mean, that's not the way to go. You government, you represent the state. The state is a body politics, which comprise of an institution that watches over its people. So, and a society is a basic part of a family. So all these things has attachment. Until the government realizes that and performs a civics duty, they will realize that traditional issues are part of the governance and the way to express themselves, the way to put out their output and the way to respond to their citizens. You can keep making the roar to your citizens, keep them agitated. That woman I can't even talk for more than 30 years. Somebody thought something might be something crazy. That's why you see the old man, I don't know how you call her, and she kind of like she said on the thing, and somebody said, "Man, will elevate your voice." Yeah, boom. Yeah, today, Indiana, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta respect the people, man. But consent is a major issue. Nobody should violate people' right. People should respect people. People should agree to do what they want to do. And the value of it, the cultural value of it is to have people respected. Because if the people enter with their own violation, they'll have passion to do what they're doing. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I remember when we were younger, someone I played the high end grand basketball Kinetan. And if
Yes.
people coming outside, people be beating out the thing, the salsa, and the thing, people dancing, people cheering outside. Nobody troubles anybody. It was a fun. And people come
Okay.
outside
So
from that for a fee. We just standing around, children and our little sister and everybody. Nobody gonna trouble nobody. It's just an
okay.
enjoyment to put an umbrella on top of them. Everybody having fun.
I'll get back to you, President. I have somebody on the line here. They hear from one of this the community member here. I know maybe he might come from another position on this issue. So, hello, caller. Your name and where you call from?
This is Anthony Gayflow.
Oh, Anthony Gabriel Frank to Jeremiah Chiet.
I'm a friend of everybody. Maybe the level of friendship is what I'll make the difference. I'm a friend of everybody.
I know. I just teasing you.
Yeah, I know, Mr. Logan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I got on the show late, but I'm going to take from where I heard Che and Bessia.
Okay.
I know you guys are talking about traditional, let's say, initiation.
Yeah, the FGM.
Okay. Here's the thing. We are only looking at that. Behind that, there are a whole lot of educational things that go on.
Okay.
Okay? So the whole thing about consent, even in America, if the child is under 18, the parent can consent for them.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's that. Over my years in Nigeria, I did not see a situation where they just got to town and grabbed underage kids and took them there without the consent of either of the parents. Okay, and it was forbidden for parents to say no. All right? Back then, that's the reason today women that grew up in Africa or Nigeria before the war and came here, they can cook. But those that just grew up, were born and brought them here, they can't even cook hot dog. Okay?
Yeah.
They cannot cook hot dog.
Like
so the multiple years that they let us stay behind there, going through that initiation, they are schooling them how to become housewives. Okay, it's a tradition, it's an African tradition. They were teaching in the African way. Okay. But all this back and forth is because of our desire to adapt the white culture. So we are trying to kick against what our people did to have us to where we are. Okay? So everybody go to church, believe in the church that, hey, when you pray to Aluka or some prophet out there, your life will change. That's how the people had them. You go there, you learn traditional thing, you have some hidden power, and you come to that you are a full person to be responsible. The teacher had to cook. Teacher had to become a wife when you come home. All right? Okay. So if you found out, that's the reason in Nigeria, I would admit it to Nigeria, divorce was very minimal in the interior compared to the city.
It's true.
Okay? They are taught how to become a housewife. They are taught how to become a decent citizen. All right? If you remember years ago, just because of this, that all have changed. Half of the time, those that they used to say the English were either a Bassa woman, a global woman, or a cool woman. Very rarely you saw people from the interior involved in those laying acts. Yeah. So we have to take the good out, and if something that is bad, we can modify fine. All right. And Liberia be a traditional country that basically already said the government cannot function with all the traditional arms. That's why you have everywhere you go to have a traditional leader, because there are places you can go and places you can't go. And certain people go certain places based on your involvement, things get easily resolved.
Okay.
Okay, that's why you get the missing. Eating the missing when we were kids, they said, well, they were to eat people. We used to be afraid of them. But then we know that there were more things beyond that. They used to use that to force us to go home or in the house to do their thing. So everybody have a culture, and the African culture.
So you agree there's a call for modification?
I mean, modification and education. Educate the poor, don't give them the wrong side. Like I get everybody missing. They used to tell us that those in the missing, they used to eat people. But we did not know that they were using the human part to make money. That yes, the NSA in Buchanan, that's in Buchanan, Harper. But they used to tell us, oh, the kill a person, they eat it. So we used to be afraid of them. Okay, tell them the truth. I know we are not eating people, we are doing it for money making. Also, but these fool are still eating people, so now we should be afraid that American countries are going to eat you. They're going to take your hand and carry to Normandy for some ritual eye. When it was selling it to make money. So we need to modify it and educate the people the essence of it.
Okay, so can I just ask you this last question before you leave, Mr. Gabriel? Mr. Gabriel. So from Mawoto Musa, who is the chief for the female side when it comes to the Bush school, she said this specifically. She said, if they want us to leave our ancestral practice, let them be equally prepared to let go of other practices such as same-sex, UBF, Freemason, ritualistic killing, etc. and etc. Do you think if the government is not willing to let go of that, can the government say anything about this? Because I remember under Ellie Judge's government, it was suspended for 3 years. And now they say hundreds of Liberian girls risks going back to real school and not going back to Bush school. What do you know about that?
Even before this, education before, people took it to be a kind of a C4 act. I have parents and relatives, a family member who went in the Bolahu school, to the Bolahu school. That's when we were not born. I was not born either. They used to go to the villages and force parents to get their child to go to school. All right? But then the people said that was wrong. Oh, why are you forcing my child to go learn the Western culture? Okay, because you take the child out, they will not remember the traditional practice, and when they come back, they will be alienated to the community. Okay. And then we still see today. Our kids were born here, when they get back to the group after 20, 30 years, they don't know nobody. Even the Bassa you speak, we're not speaking. Okay, they become senior in their own land. So it is not the initiation of the women that making them not to go to school. All right? Okay. All right, like the head journalist told you, she went through all her little ritual thing, and she still went by a guy to the level that she is. You can't do that. It is just an excuse that people trying to find out, oh, because I have spent 4 years or 3 years behind there. I went there too, in the mail. Okay, there are many people who are successful, normal people who went back there, they came out and they still went to school. It is just the parents, for Liberia now, parents are choosing school and food. All right, so you can't believe the kids not going to school or the traditional practice. The country is just screwed up that parents cannot even afford daily bread. So why would they pay that money to school?
All right, so thank you, Mr. Gifler. But on the 6th, when we're meeting you, we would love for you to expand also on why we Liberians are not teaching our children our local dialect.
Okay, on that day, I will research and give you the update.
Okay, thank you. But so much, we will be looking up to you to tell us more about the differences between the community and the organization, the Liberian Association.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gifler. So that was Mr. Anthony Gifler. Everybody know Mr. Anthony Gifler. He's tough talking, and he's a good friend to my dear brother and friend, Mr. Jeremiah Chia.
Yeah, Mr. Gifler struck a salient point. He was very wise in his deliberation. I heard him well. There are times that in your life, it's either at your free will or people will consent for you. So, I mean, these are traditions. These are age-old traditions. So, we believe people should be given the choice to make either you want to be a part or not. Or if it comes in the age of consent, people should be able to freely and willingly want to be a part of anything they want to be a part of. That's the only way around this. I think, like Mr. Gabler and Rick said, I think the issue about challenging was just to to show that we too got something to protect, and you cannot take this from us. Because Philip, I can tell you for free, nobody forced me or induced me to become whatever I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? So if today I'm going to tell somebody you want to be this, it's your choice. I have to think about it and overthink it and make my decision. But there are times that if all of us we are Africans, right?
It's true.
You wake up, you see your hands. Sometimes you got some mark on it. The pussy is so snaking, boy. You all kind of small thing. You see how it go on you. Sometimes you didn't consent. Sometimes they talk you. They say also snaking boy you. So these are traditions. These are age-old traditions that your parents saw and went through them. So they thought it wise that maybe you could benefit from them. But between you and I, you see snake, you running away.
It's true.
But these are traditions that has been held for long centuries after centuries. So the FGM, I think it should be consented by those involved. Likewise, the culture that is taken from the West to go back to us, you should be willing to be a part of it. So if you're not willing, you can't be forced.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeremiah Chia. So that's a good one. So it means Jeremiah Chia, Mr. Anthony Givler, Mr. Rich W. Basigia, and also Mr. Anthony Givler and Mr. Jivon Smith. We all saying the same thing because we just want it to be in a way where we can consent to it. I remember when the war took us to Bon County, specifically Banga, and we left from Banga and went behind to one other town called Bobo. Then when the rebel were coming again, we have to leave that town called Bobo and go to one other town behind Bobo called Gonswa town. And in that town, sometimes you guys having fun and just saying, yeah, somebody come running. What happened? Oh, y'all gotta go inside. They say the devil come here. When the devil catch you, they will carry you. You know that kind of thing where you're for the city, you're going to the area, you see or running inside your slipper or leaving outside. And obviously, some of our friends were just collected. We're all being consenting to it. And the parents have no control over it. And they were gone. And you will not see them again till after 6-7 months.
You want me to give you a story, Philip?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me give you one short story concerning these things about tradition. Sometimes people misuse them. I'll tell you one story. We were at the border post with Sierra Leone, and the guys, sometimes they want to bring in their stuff. The boys from the town, from Bull Waterside, they want to bring in their stuff, and they know that security are watching and other people. So the only way to scare you away from your post is to say, we're bringing the thing outside. Sometimes you're not here, you're there, a loud noise, and everybody will run away. When we leave, the people will come across because you can't come outside. They will be outside for like 2-3 hours or more. You can't come outside. Then you will hear them, they'll say, maybe you want spy through the window. They say you spy will bust your eye, then we're scared.
Yeah.
Psychological,
they're using that time to carry the thing through.
You're not going to venture to spy because you're not part of it. You're not sure that when you spy, your eye will bust. So sometimes we used to be scared. People make away. But there was a case in point that one immigration fellow, they put his stuff outside and he was trying to run from the shop because he was drinking beer. He was trying to run from the shop to go to his office area and he fell. He broke his leg. And that called international attention. And the people say, okay, this is a border post. And the president was involved, President Sirleaf. She ordered them through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, say, but this is our neighbors, and you can't be doing anything right from the pool because that Kotaro border down there. Yeah. So the only thing they did was they gave them 25 miles from the border. You carry your thing in the bush. In the bush. That one we come in the bush and then we're looking for you. But on a mean pavement, you can't bring it all the way down there. But even at that, people were still scared because something you're not part of.
Yeah.
You don't have to be part of it, but you don't believe in it, but abide by the rules because you don't know you might get yourself hurt.
And they have all the strong, muscular guy from the town. And you try it, they will airlift you. Trust me. The only people they used to be afraid of are those guys that carry guns. Other than that, they don't care. All right, so it has been a very good topic. We will talk more on these things because it affects all of us. It affects our young girls coming up in Liberia as well. Instead of going to the traditional school, people prefer putting them in some of the regular butches where they are not being educated formally. And we feel if they can consent, if they are like the way they have the Masonic and other group, people concerned, and people go to Masonic just for meeting and go back to school. So if the other group can do the same, why the children can just go in after meeting and go back to regular school and not to keep them from regular school and in that booth, I'll be pure. But now we will be shifting. We'll be leaving that topic and be going straight to our Grand Bazaar convention that is coming up in Maryland on the 2nd of September, and it will be from the 2nd to the 5th. You've been hearing about the convention, and I think the guest speaker on that convention is going to be Mr. Stanton Waterspoon, the CEO and owner of the how do you call the show
Spoon.
again? The Spoon
Spoon.
Talk, Spoon TV, and Spoon Group of Company. So Stanton going to be there as the guest on that Jenega program, and the delegate from Indiana will be led by our astute president, man who stopped talking, who knows the issue, who have been around and settled in Indiana because he has been taken over by Tiama. Res Basigia taking over by Tiamo. Well, dear brother, how are you? I'm just poking your side small. So, Mr. President, can you tell a little about that whole entire trip? Just run all down. Then we'll come to Mr. Jeremiah Chie, who is on entertainment and sitting in this presenter seat. I'm Philip Logan. I'm also the chair on programs and planning. And our other guys are not here now because we have Mr. Richard Boya, who's also on the steering committee, Mr. Joshua Power, who also on this committee, Mr. MacArthur D. He's on this committee as well. So we're just going to talk more about the committee. We appreciated the Liberia community as well when we went to Kentucky. Some of you guys went to Kentucky to celebrate with us. We are also calling on you if you can fly to Maryland, if you can drive to Maryland. It's going to be a whole long week. You know the holiday is Monday. Labor Day is Monday. People will not be going to work. If you want to drive to Maryland, start picking up now. The Liberia, the Grand Bazaar Association, the Indiana chapter will be leaving from here on the 1st or on the 2nd, and they're going to be back on the 5th. So if you want to start going, start going. I can tell you, Mr. Riz Basigia will be in Maryland. If you do not have place to sleep, we accommodate you. We have a house that everyone can be beating drum and playing our song back to the next morning. You're not going to close your eyeball. And Jeremiah Chia is on that trip. Trust me, it got to be good. So don't miss it. Mr. President, can you just tell a little more about that little trip?
Yeah, let me address you as Chairman Philip Logan, as the Chairman of Programs and Planning. You got a lot of old details on that trip, and so I know it is important for us to let our Indiana people, make our Indiana people that aware. Let me make our Indiana people that aware of the trip. And so, after every 2 years, the UNAMBOA, which is the United Bazaar Association in the United States of America, the umbrella institution of the Bazaar people, representing Riverside, McGibby, Monserrato, and Grand Bazaar, they have a transition, meaning they go to elections after every 2 years. So subsequently, I think there's an expiration time towards this current leadership. The current national president based in Kentucky, the current national vice president based in Atlanta, were quota officers.
Yep.
The national secretary general is based in Iowa, and subsequently we were brought into the fame after we got inducted into our various offices in Kentucky. All our brothers were there. We made it there. And at the end of the day, we took oath to protect our people. We took oath to make sure that we keep the Indiana chapter lively. We bring that spirit, that Bazaar spirit. We bring that memento, that Bazaar memento. We bring that association, that Bazaar association. We bring that importance, that Bazaar importance. That hospitality, that Bazaar hospitality. That respect, that Bazaar respect to Indiana. And we have been having several meetings. We have been interacting with a lot of people. We have been having a lot of conversation that cross just being Bazaar. And of course, we had a template which was chaired by Philip Logan. He's our statutory chairman of program and planning. And we have our first launch. Albeit we got several things that we're supposed to do. But for the sake of time, we will be going to Maryland. We will be departing on the 1st. We've just got through with an executive committee meeting, and the steering committee is being chaired by the vice president of the Indiana chapter, Mr. Joshua Power. You have Jeremiah Chia as the chairman on entertainment and refreshment. And of course, you know what it means,
Mm-hmm.
entertainment, refreshment, and all the other activities that has to taking the
Do it
stress
at
off
the
your mind.
do it at the 13.
Yeah.
Everything.
And so, and you of course you will have Mr. Richard Boya, which is the Secretary General, making sure that all our delegates, our data, our people numbers are in tight, their tickets are in tight, their going in and going out will be controlled by him. We have our finance minister, Mr. Makel, who is my actor D. Most
Mm-hmm.
people refer to him as Pa D. He
But
controls our finances, and then, of course, he will be the one making most of the expenditure for the sake of bureaucracy. And then we will be having a treasurer, and we have a treasurer, Madam. She just got married, and I say congratulations to her. You know that you saw the Bassa people, we were there dancing
oh
Bassa
yeah.
music, singing, and all have you, making it very hard for her, making sure that we identify with her. Mami Mbayu Kela.
Mm-hmm.
I have to add her last name because I don't want at the end of the day she call Phil after the program and say, "Oh, so your president, my last name." You know, I
Oh
would not be
yeah.
fair.
Oh
So
yeah.
her name is Mami Bayu Kela. She's our treasurer. So we have a whole complete bureaucratic functioning. We have a normal chain that we work by. And so we are already in zeal. We are in a momentum to go to Maryland. All is set. And the committee, the steering committee, have informed me that they will be arranging the bus. The bus will be picking up from the Secretary General house.
Mm-hmm.
There where the bus will be parked. And I think the convergence time, the I was told the convergence time is between 8 to 9 p.m. on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will start to arrive at the Secretary General house for departure, and everybody made their own contributions there. We will be having a stopping point in Maryland. We'll have a setup where we will all meet, and of course, we will interact. We will have conversation. We will entertain ourselves before we move to the hall in
Mm-hmm.
Maryland. We will be making our official first official report in Maryland to inform the people of Indiana. These are things, activities we're going to be involved with. Our board will be having the first sitting. Our board will be chaired by Reverend Lord, Reverend Dr. Lord, co-chaired by Alvin Logan, the CEO of uh,
A show
uh,
residential consultant.
Assured, Assured Residential Consultant. He's the co-chair. He's a Vasa man. And so they will be having the first sitting. That's the first thing that's going to happen in Maryland. The board going to meet, and our
So you
representation
said
will
you
be
said you said the board is chaired by who at the
uh,
convention? Mr. Samuel Law.
our board, Indiana board, being chaired by Reverend Dr. Samuel Lord. They had their
Okay.
elections.
Reverend Dr. Samuel Law. Okay,
And
that's good.
yeah, yeah, Samuel Lord. He's the chair of the board, and Ivan maintains a co-chair,
Okay.
and they will be representing us at the convention in Maryland. Though we have
Okay.
Trocom Bayou is also on the board, and we
Mm-hmm.
have Reverend Willie is also on the board. So I just wanted to give you a
Reverend Peter Willie from Life
yeah,
Connect Church. Okay.
yes,
That got
he's
thank
also
you.
on the board. Yeah, we got 4 people on the board, and we
Okay.
still struggling to make sure we get a female. Our board is a 5-member board. We tried that. One of the members should be a female, mandatory. So that's the
Okay.
reason why we have not have the full composition of the board because there's a female space. So that's in terms of the board leadership. So we are working together. We're making sure that we enhance and make impact. The importance of this group is to make sure we reach out to people who are disadvantaged,
Mm-hmm.
help our people back home in Liberia, make sure we have a connect with
Okay.
our Basel culture, our heritage, our respect for people's dignity, and make
Okay.
sure we touch the lives of the people of Riverside, touch the lives of the people of Magibi, touch the lives of the people of Monserrato, and touch the lives of the people of Grand Bassa. So that's why we have come together as one people to make sure that we have that unity, that voice, that one voice as Bassa people. Not
Okay.
where country you from. So it will be very, very enlightening in Maryland. I can tell you for sure, Phil. So we are in zeal, we are prepared, we are being inspired by ourselves. We love ourselves first before we try to love everybody. So importantly, it will be very, very zealous in there. We're gonna dance all the Bassa music, swallow the Bassa fufu, but especially the Bassa people, they don't disattach themselves from the educational vision. We will be raising funds there to make sure we make contribution back home. Some donations and stuff will be made. We're taking along with us our queen,
Yeah.
uh, Mother Rebecca Magel. She's the queen of the Bassa chapter.
Oh
She's
yeah.
a very loving woman. She's been around for a very long time. When she's around, she inspires a lot of people. She's also the advisor to the executive committee, and she serves as a chaplain as well. So that's a whole big woman right there. So she will be serving as a queen, always available to help.
Yeah.
Her humor can tell who she is. So yeah, so thanks for the platform, Phil. I mean, we will elaborate more. I guess the chairman of entertainment will come in and say something. But we all set for Thursday. Departure time will be on the 1st of September. And we will return on the 5th to the 6th of September. But I guess Maryland will have the piece of the part of the people of Yunabiaka, the United Bastard Association in Indiana, of course, in America. So our acronym is UNABIACA. So we identified ourselves as Bassa people. So thank you.
Yunambiaka. You heard it
Mhm.
for yourself. Yunambiaka. So let's go to the chairman on publicity and
Yeah,
every
man, entertainment, recreation, everything that about
entertainment.
talking.
The boy, nobody know the boy. The boy have
Uh,
season
uh,
politician
uh,
too.
you
Yes.
know,
Go ahead.
in a modern democracy, anytime the president speaks is final. So I mean, I don't want to be seen as the man leading the coup. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
um, kudos to every member of the Bassa Association in Indiana, and this is the fastest growing movement with a membership of almost 200,000 people, and we know what we are capable of doing. Our people are attending this convention in the spirit of unity, and we are making sure that they will be fully entertained and abreast with events as it relates to the trip. There are members coming from all walks of life, and we hope to get things done in time for everyone to have a joyous time there. There's also time for people to join us, our friends, well wishers, and that it's going to be fantabulous. So I mean, everyone wishing and wanting to go. Like I saw a comrade there saying he wants to go. I think if you got the all clear, you can join us, and everything will be good. I would like to recognize the board, and they've been so instrumental in this process, and the entire leadership. And the folks from Indiana have been doing a tremendous job. Even you, Chairman Philip Logan, the president of McKay, Mrs. Bayu Akila, all the people, Mrs. McGill, everyone, and including our wives, they are being the back burner. They are being very instrumental in making this day a success, and we are going to showcase ourselves. And I would like to recognize Mrs. Logan because she has been pulling the strings from the back as well. Mrs. Basikia, Mrs. Boya, and others that I might not mention, Mrs. Tanendo, all these people, they are being her husband, the vice president, everyone chip in every way, form, or manner, and we hope that this becomes a success. And we are encouraging other people to be a part of this institution. We are likable people. We are open to any ideas, new ones, and we hope that joining us can enhance our capacity to interact as well as move our community forward in another direction. We are not tribal sentimental people. We are not tribal or sentimental people. We also open up to everybody so that everyone has a piece of the pie.
Okay, so I have a question here from Mr. John Lackey. He said, will you and the president be willing to come back on the show after the convention and tell the people of Indiana what they seeks to benefit from the Basel Association?
Yes, we always be willing to do that. We have been called to duty. We've been called to serve. So it is an obligation we always excited to be on here. And this is something that applicable to the leadership, correct? And so people should not even plead for that. As long we have the platform, we will be open. There's an open leadership, and we function in a way that we have been well structured. Like I said, Chairman Phil is the one who crafted our. We got a 6-month action plan, and because of time, we can't expand on that. The first thing we intended was to get our account open.
Yeah.
We did that.
And we
The
are
second
registered
thing,
legally.
we are registered legally, and that all that was done on the instrumentality of Chairman Philip Logan, because that's AC's work, and he had these programs set up. He set up a 6-month action plans, and that's what the institution focus on. We don't deviate, except otherwise the assembly, which is higher decision making body. The body has a vote in general meeting that we should add on to certain things, or we should reduce certain things, or make some amendment on the template we have as a progress note to implement our payloads. So of course we had the membership launch, which is part of our template, and that was successful, and we did that, and several other things on our docket. We will have to launch our account officially, where we already planning on that. So, Mr. Lake, yes, we will always be available. We have a team of astute men, very respectable, willing to express to the people of Indiana what they made of and what things are good for the people of Indiana. In fact, willing to work as a subset to the LAI, because a matter of fact, all institutions in this area, in Indiana as a whole, should be member organization of Indiana, the LAI, which is a model chapter. I know that is not what we've been called to dialogue on, but I think that's why it should be, and we are willing to also be in that particular arrangement. We don't intend to take away from LAI. We are just an institution we formed to work along with ourselves, about so people make sure that we count on ourselves, and to make sure that we love ourselves. We are hospitable people. We cannot be in Indiana here and don't make a contribution. And so that's why people like Jeremiah and Powell, Alvin Logan, Samuel, and Mistress Logan, the Secretary General Richard Boya, Mami Bayu, Papi Bayu, and the rest, Orita Bayu, and the rest of the other people, Ma Rebecca. We thought it was necessary, and Orito, Jevon Smith, and the rest of so that we converge. So we will always be available. Any questions you have, ask all these questions, and if it is in our purview to release that information to you, we will.
He has a follow up here. So for those of you following us, and the president mentioned about our queen. If you don't know the queen, this is our queen here. She's going to represent the Bassa people in Maryland. So if you're coming, please vote for our queen. Please go there and support our queen. My Rebecca. And you know, let me just say this. I know some people who have stayed in America for some time. They don't know the kind of a queen contest we are going to. It's not, you're not going online to vote. That one are the web people own. You're not going to put your hand on that woman I want. No. They see where in elementary school, the person will plenty of money that you will win. So, so when you come in, please come financially prepared to support our queen. All right, so that answer the lucky guy. Final question. He said he knew in Indiana. He said, my mother is from Masurado, and my father is from Bapolu. Can I become member of the group since I have one party who is a Bassa person?
Yes, he can be a member. And more besides by birth, you can be a member.
Yeah, his mom is a
Yeah.
bassa, and his
So
pa.
your mom Basa, yes, you can be a member. And there are several other people out there that are affiliating with us that are non-Basilan. You can also be a member, not just being Babasa. By
Okay.
affiliation and by association, you can come in, fill in your form, join the institution, and of course, you are a member, and you get a copy of the Constitution and read and do due diligence on the Constitution, and you get it now.
Yeah, you gotta mute your phone, Richard.
By affiliation and by association, you can
Richard, sorry, Richard, you listening to the show at the same time you're calling. So go ahead, Mr. Secretary General.
Good evening, brothers in studio.
Good evening, my dear brother.
Good evening.
I want to say thanks to
Secretary.
the Honorable Chairman on Entertainment, Mr. Chair, and our dynamic president in person of Mr. Basikia, for taking up the time to come and explain concerning our trip to Maryland. We are in zeal as I can speak to you. Everything is in full swing. It's just unfortunate because I had to go for class today.
Okay.
So I couldn't be on the show. But however, one Basel voice is united for the entire Basel Association.
That's true.
We want to say thanks to our community for embracing all of our activities. We encouraging people to form part of our trip to Maryland because, like you saw it in Kentucky.
Yeah.
The place is there for people to gather, like you said. We will be hosting the entire membership, including our friends and family from here that will be going for that program. However, we will be coming back on this identical platform and all other platforms in the community to elect the community on our progress so far.
That's good.
We are open to unraveled membership, like the chairman said. It's not just about the Basa people. Like the guy I just spoke, asking a question concerning his membership.
Lucky.
Directly, I was speaking in that capacity as a Secretary General. He has the opportunity to be part of the organization because of by birth from his mom. So if I make it on time, I'm definitely going to come on the show as well. But I just try to call in to also address what you guys are saying in studio.
Thank you.
And congratulations to the Basa people once more.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to you again. Your birthday was on Sunday, and your anniversary was on Saturday. Congratulations, my dear brother.
Thank you. And I would just say thanks to the community too for giving me that warm celebration as well. I was very much encouraged for all of the call in, the text messages and things. But I will handle that on my own timing. Yeah. Again, thanks you guys.
Thank you so much. Because I have some people in town here. I don't want to mention any, but I just mention a few. Ricky and how they call it, other people. They have Basa by mothers and different tribe by father. They have been contemplating on if they can be part of the group. Saying they are now 100% from the father side. So now at least the information has gone out there. If you're out there and know the information, if your mom is a Basa woman, automatically you are qualified to be part of this group.
Yeah, they are qualified. Let's encourage them.
Some of you who want to just join the group easily, they got some vacant Basa men. You see, Tema says she Basa by marriage. So if you see a vacant Basa man with nice character, because Basa people, they don't treat women. They don't do bad to women. They are submissive. They can clean up. They can listen to you. They let school Benny. So if you know what I know, look for Basa. All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Okay.
But dear brother, so Mr. President, thank you so much for that. The chairman on entertainment here, he said when the president speaks, nobody else come out to buttress the president because he's the CRC. So Mr. President, I want to say thank you for coming to Logan's Hour. To my brother Lake, the president, I've also stated that he will come back here. So I will wait on the president whenever they return or whenever the trip, everybody return from the trip. The president will give me an official date that he wants to appear on the Logan's Hour. Those of you who want to become a member of the Basa group that want to ask more questions, those of you that want to know what people in Indiana would benefit from the Basa group, the president will be here with his able lieutenants. They will all sit here and answer questions from the community. So thank you so much, Mr. President, and thank you so much to my dear brother, Mr. Jeremiah Chie, who will be here on the 6th to talk to his best friend, Mr. Tony Gifler, and Jeremiah Chi also will be part of the conversation with the president of the Library Association of Indiana. I look forward to you too, Mr. President, if you want to be part of that conversation on Thursday. The president of the Library Association is going to be here. He will be addressing the community. I think of late, you are seeing on the group chat, there have been a wild concern and some claims and counterclaims about the EC posting. Some people say it's counterproductive. And I saw Jeremiah Chia, his little finger, he know how to tip. So all the one in the so I can rest assure you, Mr. Rufus Tati is getting prepared for that, because I know there will be tons of questions coming from all cross sections of the community that you have to address. So I look forward to having panelists here, maybe 5 people, maybe 7 people, maybe 8 people. The program take up to 10 people can sit up here at once. So we look forward to more people in the community who want to be part of the program. Ask the president question. Mr. Tony Gifler as well. If you want to be part of the program, we can also send you the link. You can come up here and ask the president the question as well. But for now, I have 3 people who have
appear.
All right, yeah, that. So for now, we have 3 people who have consented. We have Mr. Jeremiah Chia will be here, and we have Mr. Joseph Silly Jr. They will be the 2 panelists on Thursday. So if you want to be part of this conversation, if you want to ask the president question, come on, don't sleep on it. So, Mr. President, I know you are driving. Let's just go to you for your parting. Then we'll come to Mr. Jeremiah Chia for his parting. Then we can call it a quit. It's already 9:46. Go ahead, Mr. President. So I'm going to make you go solo. Each of you will go solo in your parting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Big Phil. Again, thanks for the platform. I appreciate. I mean, it is a very good platform for us in the librarian community, and so it is always my pleasure to be on this platform. The Bassa people here to stay, and of course, we have friendly people. Our departure will be on Thursday, which will be the 1st of September, and we will be in Maryland live. We will be able to represent Indiana in our Bassa voice. Thanks to everybody. God bless us all and save the state.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. So look forward to having you again when you return from Maryland, and that's going to be a real conversation to engage the community. So we will look forward to some of those non-Basolian as well to come and sit here and ask our president a question from a different view. We just want Bassa people interviewing the president, probably who might be biased, who might be asking the president some softball questions. So we're looking for people who are not Bassa. Ask the president all the questions you want to ask. And if you've been following Liberian politics, the name Rex Basigia or Basigia, it's not no play names when it comes to people who can intellectualize the discussions and know how to get themselves in tough situations. So we look forward to you, Mr. President, when you return from Maryland on the 6th or on the 5th. So thank you again for joining the Logan's Hour tonight, Mr. President. So let's go straight to our brother, Mr. Jeremiah Chia. My dear brother, it is also a great pleasure.
Well, Philip.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I say it's also a great pleasure for you always voluntarily. Whether we invite you, you can say similarly. Let's have the conversation. I need to come up. So thank you for serving your community, because in other words, you are serving your community in a sense where people do not understand. But it is very important that people can come up here and learn some new things from you and hear some things that they don't know that is going on. And that's why we have been looking up to people who in the community who want to come up here and we just discuss the issues. Like I've been talking to some of the young guys. I said sometimes on some Saturdays, we could just sit down up here 9, 10 people and let's just talk about relevant issues and have different opinion on it. And like the other day, I talked to some of my brothers. I said, listen, why can't we sit down a topic on gun violence, or young people getting involved with drugs, or how do we talk to our young people to get from the street and listen to their parents' advices, and let's hear cross-pollination of different views. And some of them might just be sitting and learn from what we are saying up here. But Jerry, I want to say, my hats up to you. You are a real gentleman. Thank you.
Philip, thank you. First of all, I believe our viewers and the listeners are the real MVP. They are the ones taking up the time also to follow this show. I would like to say kudos to them. I appreciate them for always following the Logan's Hour. I would like to appreciate your wife for according you the time to always be here to serve your community as well. And also to our wives when we come on these shows. We are always going to be available to discuss the issue because not many people will have the time to come and discuss the issue. But there are prevalent things in our community that cannot slide or be swept under the carpet, whether it's political, whether it's social. We believe that we can discuss these things and amicably resolve whatever things or differences we have as a community. So I look forward to always being a part, and I appreciate, like I said, the viewers, our people in the diaspora, our people back home, our people who keep following the Logan's Hour. You people are the ones that keep this viewing or these mentorship going. So I appreciate you, Mr. Logan, for always coming up with sensitive discussion that we navigate together and find a common place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother Jeremiah. Thank you. I look forward to you again on Thursday and on the 6th. Because I know you'll be here with the president. And the way the people saw your small finger tapping, my wife never knew that you knew Wocho. She said, who the other Wocho? I said, Jeremiah, she tapping at the house. So,
Don't
oh,
worry.
yeah, she came out and she said, but the boy, I can be seeing it, but passing it.
You
But
know,
no, the boy no book.
Those exchanges are healthy. I believe
Very
that we
healthy.
should do away with personal attacks, but rather we should discuss things relevant to the community for
It's
the
true.
I don't have to insult you,
Insults.
Mr.
Yeah.
Logan.
Yeah.
If I differ with you on something, I believe we can discuss it. If we want to write, we write. If we want to talk, we talk. I
It's
believe
true.
we can. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thanks for joining the show again. All right, so that was Jeremiah Chia. We were in conversation with Jeremiah Chia and the Honorable Riz W. Basigia. We want to say to all of you who follow us here tonight, we are so grateful that you people were able to join us tonight again. It's because of you. We are here. And to my brother Prince Killer, he's here tonight. I want to say thank you so much to my brother Prince Killer. He said he's bastard by marriage. I want to say to all of the people who follow all the youth chair, Fatima family, coming down to Temo taking over by Riz W. Basigia, my own sister Tutu Makati, my Oma Isabella Youngway, and all of those, Didier and the rest of the folks who join us tonight on this show. We want to say because of you, we are here. And this commitment that we have made to serve this community, to serve our people, whatever way possible, to disseminate the information that are necessary for the growth and development of the community, we will remain committed to it, regardless what. This is good. The other day I saw the exchanges on the group chat, and I said to everyone who intellectualizing and exercising their strength when it comes to tapping, congratulations to you. For those of you who insult people, who go personal, I want to say desist from that. That is not healthy for our community. And just a little popular announcement. I know I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to do this, but I need to do it because somebody else might just find any ID or personal document. I want to use it for whatever purposes. So I just want to make this as a proof that just in case if you find my wife IDs or her cards, her bank cards, or any document relating to her that have her name on it, please do not take the person who have it serious, or you can either call the police and report that because her car was broken into last night. They took her computer, they took her wheeler, they took some valuable items from the car. So if anybody who saw anybody with her RD or whatever documents have her name on it, maybe if they break through the computer and post any documents about her or school work or whatever, that's not her. Those posts are not her. Her computer, her car was broke into last night. It stole her computer and it stole every other documents that were in the car. So just a public service announcement to just give the community heads up that if you see her ID card or whatever documents that we have her name on it, please report that person because the car was broken into last night and it stole all of those items. All right. So to all of my people following us up there tonight, I want to say thank you. Thanks to our queen. But how can three people look almost the same? The queen looking like this. So beautiful. The first lady, to see the first lady in action at the funeral. Then see my own Oma, Isabella. Three of them, wow, what a coincidence. Everybody just looked at it in action. And to my dear brothers and friends, Mr. Jeremiah Chie, Mr. Hottie Pamo, Mr. Jeremiah Saleh, Mr. Minister Jacob, my dear brother Emmett, and my brother Albert. Thanks for attending this funeral. So to all of you following us there out there, want to say thanks for joining me tonight. And it was nice being on the Logan Hour. It was nice after a long period coming back to see all of my people back here again. We want to say we really do appreciate you people for joining this Logan Hour, and we want to keep this going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So before we leave tonight, please lock your door. Please check your cars. Make sure your doors are locked. Make sure your car doors are locked. Be your brother keeper, and let's keep this community safe. Young people out there, I wanted to speak specifically to young people moving around in the night, looking for cars that are open to just get into it and steal things that make no sense. You could be caught, you could be jailed for the kind of common things that give you record. The disease, and let's have a good night. Good night, and bye-bye.